All right, guys, 1 second. Go live. All right, we are live. Unfortunately, okay. Having a few issues with my live software, but that's no surprise. Anyways, I'm excited to get right into it. I can already see quite a few questions. Creative Harry, what's up? Can I start an agency? My English is bad. I heard you can hire sales representatives. 100%. I've got students who are not fluent in English, and they still crush it. You can stay within your own country, and quite frankly, you don't have to be fully fluent. What I've personally seen is a lot of people who say my English is not the best. In reality, it's more than good, more than good enough. So, what budget do you recommend for hiring a MB plus software and scaling as fastest agency to thank you? MB plus or media buyer plus software. What budget do you recommend for hiring media buyer plus software? I mean, here's the thing, Amir. Here's the thing, Amir. One of the things that you need to keep in mind is that everything that you invest within your agency, it gets paid off by your cash flow, right? So it gets paid off by the money that your clients are paying you. So you don't really need a huge budget to start with. In fact, you only need a few softwares for that matter, which could run you $30-$40 per month max. Or do you need to be the one call? Would you say it's possible to hire someone to do sales client calls on your behalf, or do you need to be the one calling clients? I don't recommend that to start, simply because there's something about wait 1 second. It's a bit blurry. Okay, there's something about really knowing what resonates with your market, right, and your prospects, and you can only get that from speaking with them personally, right? So would I recommend you do that? No. Also because sales skills is not sales is not something you should run away from. In fact, embrace it and really commit to mastery. Really commit to becoming really good with it, because it's a skill that's going to serve you for a very long time. So yeah, keep that in mind. Daniel, I have a problem with payment gateways. What's the better way to accept payments if I don't have Stripe and PayPal? Best way, I mean, you could have Square, Payoneer, not a huge fan, but Square, to checkout, Payoneer, direct transfer to your bank account. Yeah. For starting with SMMA, do we first need to have experience in social media marketing or management as a freelancer? Regardless of which one it is, the answer is no. Obviously, for example, with my mentorship, right? Like, that's one of the things that we cover extensively to make sure that you do have the appropriate skills to be able to do that. But having said that, we focus more on the strategy side of things, right? So when it comes to the service delivery, we focus more on the strategy. For example, the sales funnels that we're going to use for our clients, whereas the media buyer actually executes on the media buying side of things. Edgar, what's up? How does time? Okay. Question. Hi, I want to get started with SMMA, but I'm scared of it being too saturated. Any advice? Also, best way to start an SMMA agency. The last question is too broad, but when it comes to being too saturated, what you need to understand is it is saturated if you go into a saturated market, right? And so one of the concepts that I talk a lot about is the blue ocean strategy, right? I'm building what I call a monopoly agency, an agency that doesn't compete, but you basically find your own specific lane, right? And you dominate that lane. Which most people just don't do at all, right? And so most people, what they do, the reason why they experience saturation is because, number one, they have the exact same service delivery, right, as everyone else. Oh, my audio is not plugged in, guys. Apologize. Well, okay. Sorry about that. Let's see if, give me one sec, guys. I want to connect. No, we don't. There.
Now we're talking, boys and girls and everyone else. But all right, so Too saturated. The reason why most people experience saturation is because, number one, they go ahead and they copy most agencies out there. So they don't have an irresistible offer. They don't have a specific space, right, that they're operating in. They have the exact same service delivery. They just don't have any. They look exactly the same as every single agency out there. Okay. So how do you not experience saturation? By having a very clear irresistible offer, okay? By having a complete different sales funnel, by tapping into a specific sub-niche within e-commerce. And when you do that, then you set yourself apart, right? So you go narrow, and then once you gain that authority, then you go broad so you can compete. Now you can compete, right? When you have the authority, when you've gone narrow fast, and you've gained that authority, you've gained that social proof as well, now you can compete with the big dogs, and you don't care about saturation. I can show you, right? And the final thing is to understand that most people don't know what they're doing, right? So there might be a lot of noise when it comes to social media marketing agency. You might see a lot of people, watching my channel or subscribing to me on YouTube or even on this chat, but most people won't take action, and that's just it's unfortunate. I wish everyone did take action, because I do think there's space for everyone, really. If you, as long as you have an irresistible offer, as long as you have a very clearly defined service delivery and complete different service offering. But most people won't do shit, and that's just the reality of it. So understand that you are in an echo chamber, and that the reality is very few people actually know what they're doing, and very few people that know what they're doing actually execute at a very, very high level. Hey, Jaime, I'm planning to start my agency. My concern is that if I'm asked about my certifications, qualifications, I don't have any of that yet. I'm not sure what you mean, like what do you mean by qualifications or certifications? What I can assure you is your ability to get results is the only thing that matters. I've never had a client, and I've never seen a mentee get asked about are there a certified digital marketer? And that's why I always laugh at these courses that online that promise you like a certificate or a qualification. Like, cool, that's just a piece of paper. Like, no client will ever ask for that, as long as you have a very clear process to results that you can show them, as long as you have an incredible A player within your team, as long as your sales and your sales funnel is incredibly good. They don't really care. They really don't. Because most people understand that, I feel like most people, like, you have to understand that most founders especially, like, they know that a paper doesn't mean shit. Okay. So if you're a Google Ads certified person, right, and maybe you've gone through like a bunch of Google Ads certificates, I'm going to pick the person who spent the same amount of time that you have getting those certificates, who spent that amount of time that you spent getting those certificates, actually working with brands within their own specific sub niche. They're going to pick that person any day of the week, right? Because all that matters is your ability to get results and your hands-on experience. That is all that matters. So yeah. Minimum budget to start an SMMA. I mean, you can literally start with $30 per month. Is info business counted as e-com? Yes, because they're selling something online, but it is a bit of a different way of selling products online, right? So the sales funnels are different. For example, with info business, you need to understand what a masterclass funnel looks like, what a webinar looks like, what a JIT webinar looks like. It's just a bit of a different funnel, really. Okay. Unable to understand the correct difference between social media manager and SMMA. Also, is SMMA more valued just because it is established? Not sure what you mean by that last question, but a social media manager, it's just a position within a company. And SMMA is an agency, so it's an institution, right? It could literally just be you and a media buyer, a contractor, right? But that's what an agency means. The other one is just a position. What percentage of ad spend do you recommend I charge my clients? I don't recommend you charge percentage of ad spend. I think it's a very, very bad way of charging things. But why should you be rewarded for spending money? You should be rewarded for making money. Make sense? So instead, charge on ad profit, right? So the profit that you make them from the ads. I guess. Rohan, I see your question. No need to spam. How's agency going? Jaime, not sure if you guys, I mean, if you don't follow me on Instagram, then I think there might be a link on my profile. But we actually crossed the 100K mark, which is 100K month mark. I will be putting out a few videos on that. Some things that I learned during the process. So we did 137K in one single month in May, which is honestly is a figure that is pretty absurd. It's pretty absurd to me when I think about it. Seemed definitely very unattainable. Was one of my business goals for the year, and to have accomplished that in May is pretty insane. So comes to really speak about the fact that I've been hiring more people. I've also been just pouring more fire into my sales funnels, into my automated sales funnels that I talk about in my mentorship, etc., etc. So. Great question. Is it possible to earn $1 million a month as SMMA in profit? I believe so, and I think I don't want to be selfish or anything like that, but I think I will be one of the first few people that actually accomplishes that. And the reason why I'm confident about that, not in a cocky way, by the way, essentially the reason why I say that, right, is simply because of the way the e-com agency model. The way I've structured the e-com agency model, and I've talked about this in previous videos, but you guys have heard me talk about how you can actually start your own e-com brands. There's different stages to the e-com journey, right? So you can, to get to 10K a month, you just need a few fixed retainers plus performance-driven incentives, like at profit deals, right? To get to 50K per month, you need those fixed percentages, and then maybe you get to 10K plus per month retainers with those fixed percentages that grow month to month, and maybe you start taking a bit of equity in those brands. But then to go from 50K per month to $1 million a month, that's when you start growing your own e-com brands, right? And I still would consider that part of my SMMA because I'm literally of my own e-com agency. I'm using the exact same team, right? That we're using to grow other brands, using my resources, right? And so I'd still consider that as part of my agency. Some people may say, well, that's your e-com business. Sure, but it's like an e-com business that we started under the umbrella, right? So we not only handle other e-com businesses, right, but we handle our own e-com business. So I think it is very doable, and I think that's where I'm heading. Doing cold outreach and getting some replies, but after reply they just vanish, and even after follow-ups they don't respond. How can I tackle this? What's your offer? What are they replying to exactly? Should we charge the client starting out by taking incentives from the profit they make? Yes, should be part of your deal. How to join your mentorship? There's an application link. So first we gotta jump on a call and make sure that it'd be a good fit. But there's an application link down below. Now it is paid, so it's definitely not for everyone. Keep that in mind. But if you're looking to get a result and scale to 10K a month in record-breaking time and get into my 10K club, might want to check it out. When will you reveal your product? If you guys don't know what I think it's Jas, I don't want to butcher your name, is talking about is my ecom brand launching soon. And we'll be doing the review on the next episode of my series building $100 million ecom brand. Is it really hard to start SMMA? No, it's not hard. It's not easy. It's simple. Are you hiring content creators? No. I don't know what role they would play really in my agency. Can you briefly explain your automated sales funnel process? I've talked about it a bit on my channel, but there's a few things, and you guys know I go into a lot of detail with my videos, and I appreciate everyone's feedback on them. But there's some things that are my secret juice and that I keep close to my heart for my mentees in my mentorship. Are you planning to run ads for your agency? I have in the past. I've tried pretty much every single outreach method. And I just haven't seen better results than my automated sales funnel. Ads land me meetings at around 50x the cost, sometimes 100x the cost. So is this still worth it? Yes, because you're putting money in and you're getting money out and you're making profit. But yeah, it's if I can get it for less, then so be it. I think this is a really good question. Why do you think that highly personalized cold emails is slave away approach? Because you can hire 1 to 2 people to send them to see better results. Well, number one, just because you can hire people to do it doesn't mean it's more effective, right? If you hire 2 people, right, to do something that is not very effective and that hasn't been proven to just work better than other methods, then you're only scaling things that are not perfect. And so at scale, it's going to be a bit of a waste of time for these people, right? Now, I do believe in personalization, and I've talked about this in my channel. I do personalized automation, right? So it's still highly personalized. And again, I talk about this extensively on my mentorship, but it's still highly personalized. Now, the other thing that I will say is, like, when you think when you think about hiring, right? Hiring is good, right? You can delegate things, but number one, it's a cost, right? So paying for a system that is not the most effective is costly, right? Number two, it adds complexity to your business, right? So the more people you add into your team, you gotta watch out for, you gotta watch, you gotta talk to them, you gotta make sure they're doing the job correctly and all that stuff, right? And so when you get to a level of skill at your business where you actually need to bring on people, I can assure you get very, very picky with the people that are in your team, and you want to make sure that you keep the team as tight knit as possible. Ideally, picking people that can wear different hats, right? And so my team is not, given the type of revenue that we're making right now, it's not super big, and that's because different people can, most people in my team can wear different hats, right? That's what makes them very valuable. Good question. Do you get frustrated doing SMMA? Yeah, of course. I think that is one of the things that set people apart. The people that get results and not, is your ability to tolerate frustration, right? So do I get frustrated? Yes. Do I relate with that feeling and then manifest that frustration in my business and in my work? No, right? So oftentimes, I'll just be like working, right? And there'll be things that will piss you off, and I think with everything in life, there'll be things that, like, you're like, this is annoying. This is not my favorite part, but you just realize that, like, it's part of the game. And as much as I can get frustrated with, like, little small things in the macro, I just love the game. So yeah, but I think you can get frustrated with anything in life, even if you love it, right? It's being able to tolerate the frustration and not manifesting it into what you do. That is the key factor. Thanks, man. People like you are really giving direction to people like us who just want to start and do something valuable. Dude, means a lot, and I appreciate that. So means a lot. Are video audits better than any outreach methods? I'm very careful with saying anything is better than something, right? I think it's a good tool that you should have in your arsenal. But the way I think about these is they are good for certain things, but not for others, right? So it really depends on where they come in within the sales funnel. How long have you been in the SMMA business? Close to 3 years now, almost. One thing that I'll say on that is, like, I don't even consider my first year a year, because, like, you're like a baby, right? That's crawling. You're not really walking, and so I could start counting when I was actually walking and I knew what I was doing, because I had to learn the ropes myself. But yeah. If I'm unable to book meetings, should I do ads and a funnel to get ecom clients? Absolutely not. Look, if a funnel is not working with organic, Adding ads to it is only gonna make you waste a bunch of money, right? You should only add ads, right? Supercharge things with ads if you know they're really working, right? Because if you're spending money, you better make a return on that money. Okay, makes sense. So if you're not booking meetings with your current messaging, with your the current funnel that you have, putting ads behind it is only going to waste you a bunch of time, energy, and money. Do you charge ROAS or flat fee? Both, but I don't charge ROAS. I charge ad profit. Does 1K enough to apply for your to your mentorship? No. If it's a mentorship, it's not a course. So if you're looking for a 1K course, there's a bunch out there. But no, it's a much more personalized, tailored attention. So nope. When you first started, did you have clients pay half upfront for cash flow? I had clients pay the full amount upfront always from the very, very start. What is the most recommended outreach methods for dentists? To be honest, I mean, I just wouldn't recommend you do local business. So I cannot comment on that. But yeah. Do you need any written contracts or agreements to sign clients? The answer is yes. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It doesn't have to be a huge ordeal, but you do need at least a simple NDA and then stating the scope of work in terms. Will clients trust you by paying you upfront? Yes, because we build the trust and report. There's no reason why they wouldn't trust me. They can always do a chargeback as well. So, yeah. Is it possible to get clients without case studies? 100%. If you let the process to your results speak and your professionalism and your systems for your agency speak for themselves. You're only really going to get the question of, hey, do you have any case studies if you haven't done the call well, right? So if things haven't gone too well, and if you get that question, it means that the call didn't go too well, right? And that's fine. When you're starting out, it's normal, but just understand that. All right, guys, we'll go till 30 minutes. I'm gonna do a shorter one. I just want to see if you guys are prefer these shorter ones, because I think 1 hour is quite intense. I sales call to this, and I almost closed that client and sent the invoice, but then she started asking for testimony, social proof, and then she backed off. Hi, my first sales call to this, and I almost closed that client. She backed off. Dude, you just basically proved exactly what I talked about a few seconds ago, which is the fact that when they start asking for testimonials and social, most clients, I know this from experience, most clients, when you do actually send them those testimonials, those case studies, they don't even read them, right? It's just a way to either kind of, there will be clients who will actually be genuinely interested, but it's kind of like a way of politely getting away and from the call, or having an excuse to say no. But something during that time, so something during that first call, or something after the first call, there's something that they didn't quite like, or that made them doubt you. So the testimonials were just an excuse, really. Sylvester, can you be more specific? Like, what do you mean by structures? Should I work with SaaS or e-commerce? Not sure if that's a question, because I talk extensively about e-commerce. I will always vouch for e-commerce. I don't have any specific bias towards it. Probably I don't have any bias towards it. I just believe in it so much. What do you think about forming an LLC in the US to get Stripe available? I think it's a good idea. I mean, you're gonna have to regardless if you're in the US, so why not? Start my agency. I have very few followers on my agency's Insta handle. Do you think Instagram outreach will work? Yes, 100%. It has nothing to do with followers, but you should be posting content. And again, I talk about this extensively on the mentorship and all that stuff. But yeah, you should be posting content, and that's what really matters. Content in a specific sub niche within e-commerce. And the final thing is, I wouldn't reach out through your Instagram handle, through your Instagram, I wouldn't reach out through your agency's Instagram. So your personal Instagram is way better. What do you think of a 2 call close? Do you do it 1 call close? No, mostly 2 call close, 3 call close. When it's bigger deals and when it's e-commerce where they have more vetting in place, usually goes to especially the big dogs, usually go to a 2, 3 call close. I had one deal which stretched out for 6 months, and that's my biggest client to date. Louis Vuitton or Kaki? I would pick. I mean, I'm not a big brands guy, to be honest. Just all in all, I'm not a big, like, I don't really buy a lot of luxury stuff, unless it's like equipment or it's gonna help my business, or it's like something that, you know, it's an experience or an apartment or something like that. I just think luxury is a bit of a, and hey, like no judgment. I you know, obviously there's a few things that I personally like. I wouldn't go too crazy for them. Like maybe watches is a nice thing. I did recently buy a Louis Vuitton like travel bag, but I'll use this opportunity to say that I'm not a big luxury person, to be honest. All right, guys, 3 final minutes. Oh, good question. Top skills all business owners should have. I think I'm not going to say sales, because I think sales has a bad rep. But just the ability to communicate a irresistible offer correctly. Secondly, the ability to hire great talent and train great talent. And thirdly, the ability to think in systems and create systems that can be scaled. And the fourth thing is the mindset, obviously. You know, being able to tolerate frustration and chip away at it. Has iOS 14 affected your results? Yes, it's affected the tracking of the results, but since we can track through Google, we track through Google Analytics, guys. So, you know, since we're creating landing pages, specific landing pages for our clients to drive cold traffic to, and these landing pages usually are not public unless they come from the ads. There's no one who's hopping on that landing page unless they've come from the ads. So what we do is we just drive traffic there, and then we track this with Google Analytics, and we get exactly way more data than Facebook ads would ever give us, right? Why? Because we have a specific URL that would drive in traffic that no one else, that if they don't go through the ad, they wouldn't be able to access, right? So that's the way we get around it. And we've been doing that even without the iOS 14 update. How does your research process look like? Not sure what you mean by this. Do you mean before the call? Do you mean prospecting? Do you mean after? Like, what exactly? Okay, 30 seconds, guys. Do you think e-com is saturated since there's an influx in SMA 2021? No, absolutely not. Look, I've talked about this extensively, but number one, the echo chamber effect. Most people never take action. Most people don't know what they're doing. And the people who know they're doing, they don't have the commitment to actually take action. Number two, most people that know about e-com agency, they don't really know how to go about it. They don't know the fact that you need to pick an irresistible offer. They don't know how to get results specifically for e-com clients because no one's really talking about it. they also don't have a specific particular focus on a sub niche, etc., etc. So saturated, no. You can build a monopoly agency within ecom. All right. I think that's a wrap, my people. I have a call in 10 minutes. I do want to drink some water. But I appreciate every single one of you for hopping on this Q&A. Are you guys enjoying these? Right? Let me know, please, in the comments in the chat, because it is a big time investment, but it's kind of like I do enjoy these. So if you haven't done so already, please, I'd really appreciate if you liked this video. Helps out with the algorithm, the whole channel. I'd really appreciate that. So if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and do that. If you've enjoyed it, if you've taken value away from it, it's free, and that's the only thing I'm asking for. But yeah, Rose, thanks, man. I appreciate the help. Of course, man. I appreciate you for coming on. Yes, I enjoy it. Loving these lives, but keep it 1 hour long is better. Yeah, I mean, would love to do 2 hours, right? But thanks for the banger, Jaime. I appreciate you, Daniel. Very informative. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, just make sure that you've smashed the like button. Helps a ton. And with that being said, a big hug to everyone. Have an amazing weekend. Let's keep chipping away. Let's get to work. And what's your IG? Should be linked to my channel, but it's my name, 1. Jaime Herrera 1. Just type that in. Thanks for the info. All right. Thank you, guys. Actually, I'll post it here for those of you asking. Jaime Herrera 1. And then the final thing is, for those of you who have asked about the mentorship, it's paid, so it's definitely not for everyone. But if you're committed to get into a 10K a month mark, there is a link down below in the description to apply. There's quite a bit of demand, so you might have to wait a few days or weeks for that application call. But if you're a good fit, we'll discuss further. All right, that is it, guys. Big hug, and we'll speak very soon. Bye-bye. Take care.